Hey folks, how we doing today? It's me again, Shannon Fox here, Devoted Patriots 2 channel, and it has been an eventful day. There are several things that have been breaking news throughout the day. Today I'm talking about Hunter Biden, I'm talking about Joe Biden, I'm talking about subpoena action going forward, I'm talking about impeachment inquiry votes on the floor house today. It all happened. Let me go ahead and break it down for you folks. I got 3 or 4 little clips here. I'm going to read some to you, show you a few things. But first, before we get into all of that stuff, we're going to talk a little bit about contempt. You can catch a contempt of Congress charge, like Hunter Biden looks like we'll be getting, because of the fact if you don't show up and you're subpoenaed, in theory, people like Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro could be locked up, thrown in jail by the Democrats for contempt of Congress for refusing to show up and answer questions. So I wonder if this is going to apply equally to Hunter Biden. Is he going to be held in contempt as well? We'll have to see how this plays out. There's some other great news going on involving Trump's case. The Supreme Court had some rulings today as well. This, like I said, stick around, folks. This is an eventful bit of news, and it's all good stuff. And a lot of it ties together that helps the whole situation. I'm talking about J6ers and Trump when it comes to a ruling that is going forward that may change the whole game for everybody involved in on the January 6th. All right, folks, let's get into it. Now, do y'all remember when Biden said this?
He asked the president tonight, what is his response to this? What does he think of people who are defying these subpoenas? And should the Justice Department prosecute them? And this is what he told us.
I hope that the committee goes after them and holds them accountable.
Should they be prosecuted by the Justice
I do,
Department?
yes.
Now, I remember when Trump's son had to come before Congress twice. Because he was subpoenaed to answer questions. And he wasn't trying to do it at first, but they threatened him with imprisonment behind contempt. And so he went ahead and went before him and answered questions for, I think, 2 different days. But truth be known, it's really a different situation, the way Democrats handle the Republicans and the way the Republicans handle the Democrats. And so now we're fixing to find out how much backbones the Republicans have got. And it looks like, just from all the things that have happened today, it does look like we're headed in the right direction. I will give it that. It says Hunter Biden shows up for his closed-door deposition and impeachment inquiry today to defend himself and defend his dad. But he says, and he would do it before a public hearing. He said he would come and speak. But on these 5-minute public hearings where the Democrats defending for 5 minutes and Republicans get a questioning for 5 minutes. And that really doesn't actually get to the bottom of any kind of real investigation. So what the Republicans want to do is they want to have him in a closed-door setting and ask him all the questions that they actually need answered without a defense sitting there for him. Just straight up yes or no answer type questions. There's a lot of questions that he could probably clarify for him with simple answers. But he's not going to go that route. So it does look like they're going to subpoena him. And if you stick around to the end of this video, you will find out the vote of what happened in the impeachment inquiry today and what happened with the Supreme Court. What is being put into works involving the Supreme Court. Now this here is a video, just a little. I'll play you a little bit of it. This is Hunter Biden showed up at the Capitol today to defend himself and his dad, like I said. Said his dad had nothing to do with his finances involving his businesses. So the conversation of his dad had nothing to do with it has now been walked back to my dad had nothing to do with the money. Kind of strange, folks. They're getting a little closer to the truth with every admittance they make. Now let's listen to a little bit of Hunter crying today. Eric Swalwell brought him out there. And that's just sad.
Knowledge that I've made mistakes in my life. I wasted opportunities, privileges I was afforded. For that, I'm responsible. For that, I'm accountable. And for that, I'm making amends. But I'm also here today to correct how the MAGA right has portrayed me for their political purposes. I am first and foremost a son, a father, a brother, and a husband.
That's enough for me, folks. If you do want to watch the clip, it is on Benny Johnson's channel. The full clip. It's also a Fox News broadcast. I don't go see Fox if I don't have to. I'd rather go see another podcaster. Give them the thumbs up. But at any rate, Hunter Biden went on to blame MAGA. The MAGA Republicans, Trump and the MAGA Republicans in the House, are trying to smear his daddy's good name by going after him for his past drug addiction. And the Republicans are to blame. He's the victim. That's 6 minutes of video here. That's basically what it boils down to. Like I said, Benny Johnson's got the full thing for you. But I want to get on to some real news. I don't care about hearing Hunter Biden cry anymore. Now, this is actually what has happened today. A couple things here I just thought was crazy. Now, Judge Chutkan, who is one of the ones that tried to charge Trump with the J6 riot crime, trying to say that not only did he incite the riot, but they tried to stop an official proceeding. And so the Supreme Court is in process of was in the process of deciding if they were going to take up the case. I heard about it last week to look at it to see if they wanted to hear the case about this obstruction of official proceeding, because there was 3 January 6ers, including Jake Lang, that got their case to the appeals, split decision in the appeals, actually got it to the Supreme Court. And so now the Supreme Court has decided not to pass on it, but to make a ruling on this particular case, and it will actually set a precedent for possibly this case here involving Chutkan and Trump in D.C. and some of his charges with that, and one of his other Jack Smith cases as well. So 2 of the 4 charges against Trump could dissolve behind the Supreme Court ruling. Says Obama appointed Judge Tanya Chutkan, I think that's how you say her name, Chutkan, paused Trump's January 6th case in December in D.C. amid a dispute over the former president's immunity argument. That's what they're saying at this point, because the immunity argument is also being appealed. But I think it had to do with the fact that the Supreme Court decided today that they were going to look at the obstruction of official justice. It says in September, Trump was hit with 4 counts by Jack Smith on the January 6th case up in D.C. Conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. And that's the one the Supreme Court will actually be ruling on, it looks like, or at least hearing the case. It's the obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, because they were doing a vote count that day, or they were doing an electoral count that day, if y'all remember. And conspiracy against rights. Now, I don't think this is going to benefit Chutkan at all. I think it is good that Trump is getting a delay of game right now in this particular case, because if she proceeds with the case and then either one of these, the immunity or the attempt to prove the obstruction, goes south for her, it'll throw her whole case out. So she's actually decided to put the case on pause. So that's good news for Trump. The longer it takes for these cases to be stretched out, the more of a chance Trump will be back in office before the stuff can be handled. And some of it, at least the federal charges, he can go and actually get it taken care of. He can get these people fired. He can do a lot of things. Says Chutkan wrote that Trump's move gives her a higher court jurisdiction over the case. She noted that if the case is returned to her, she will consider whether to retain or to continue the dates of any still future deadlines and proceedings, including the trial scheduled in March. The case would return to her if Trump's immunity claim is ultimately rejected, allowing the prosecution to move forward. So basically, she can't do anything at the moment because the immunity trial is in process. and now the Supreme Court is possibly ruling against her as well. They can't really move forward at this point, and so that's good for Trump. They had no evidence against him, and so we're back to a waiting game and stalemate. But that's good news, folks. It all has to do with this DOJ 1512 C2. That's a charge of they're trying to throw it at Trump. They're saying that he abuses power, and so did a lot of the J6ers. So this will not only help Trump if the Supreme Court decides to rule in favor of, say, the J6ers, due to the fact that some of this crap is unconstitutional, the way that the DOJ and the FBI handled the prosecution of these people. It could overturn a lot of already decided cases. It could do so much for the legal apparatchiks to be able to be used to help the people that are still incarcerated in the gulag. And that's one of the best pieces of information I heard today. I thought that was great news that the Supreme Court's going to take it up. We don't know how they're going to rule, but thank God it's headed in the right direction. We have I believe it is a 6-3 majority, supermajority in the Supreme Court. And so there's no reason this shouldn't go the right way. Now, Republicans do initiate contempt of Congress proceedings after Hunter Biden says he's not going to show up. He show up outside the Capitol, but he wasn't going to show up in private quarters. So Republicans are actually in process of doing this. They say they're definitely going to follow through. So Hunter Biden's in hot water, in theory, if the Department of Justice does anything like they did to Peter Navarro or Steve Bannon, lock him up behind contempt charges. In theory, he should get the same type punishment, but who knows? I got one more thing I want to tell y'all about. It says all 221, I'm talking about united Republicans, 221 House members today voted for impeachment inquiry on Biden, which is not an impeachment yet, but it is. Let's open the door to this investigation with more teeth. They actually should have more weight and power to get subpoenas, subpoenaed information from people, businesses, entities, any direction they want. The government, the DOJ, the National Archives, several of these agencies are cock-blocking the Oversight Committee and the Judicial Committee from getting access to a lot of these, even like Joe Biden's pseudonym accounts and things, the emails and stuff. That information, once it is subpoenaed after this impeachment inquiry is set in stone, there should be no reason for it not to move forward in the right direction. Says the Oversight Committee says breaking the House has passed an impeachment inquiry resolution. With this vote, we are now in better legal standing to fight the White House's obstruction. We will see, folks. Says the House the House Republicans on Wednesday evening will vote to authorize a formal impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. Today, the House is voting to formally open an impeachment inquiry into Biden, says Mike Jones. And I got a short little video clip here. It says, the facts don't lie. It's time to get American people the answers about Joe.
Americans amid this impeachment inquiry why you interacted with so many of your son and brother's foreign business associates?
I'm not going to comment on that. I did not, and
Get
it's just a bunch of lies.
You didn't interact with their business associates?
I did not. There's lies.
One of Hunter Biden's former business partners testified before the House Oversight Committee Monday in a closed-door meeting. Archer testified that Hunter Biden put his father, who was vice president at the time, on speakerphone multiple times during business meetings.
Lies.
Archer said that Hunter Biden was selling the Biden family brand.
I'm sorry to apologize for pausing it, folks, but do you realize this is Associated Press's release that Mike Johnson retweeted the video?
In his view, that Joe Biden had brought the most value to this brand.
It's just a bunch of lies.
And in the case of this Ukraine energy firm, Archer testified that he thought the firm would have gone out of business if they didn't have that Biden family association.
Lies.
Joe Biden was using multiple false aliases, fake email names, in his dealings about Ukraine during the Obama White House while his son was making money in Ukraine.
The evidence is so clear you cannot look away, and the Constitution requires the House to follow the truth where it leads. We have a duty to do this. We cannot stop the process.
I like it, folks. Mike Johnson's getting in the game. I'm glad he's on Twitter. I'm going to start following him over there. I actually following him on Rumble. I should follow him on Twitter as well, just to give him the extra numbers, if nothing else. I do appreciate what he's doing. I don't think I have anything bad to say about Speaker Mike Johnson. There's a couple things that he has done so far that I haven't agreed with 100%, but I think he's in a position where he has to have a little give and take in order to get anything done. So I'm not going to speak bad on the man at this point. They seem to be doing the right thing, going in the right direction. We're a hell of a long way from where we were just a couple of months ago with Kevin McCarthy. That's the fact, folks. So before anybody hates on Mike Johnson, don't forget we're in better shape than we have been in a long time with the new Speaker of the House. It says House Oversight Chairman James Comer last month subpoenaed former White House counsel Dana Remus for a deposition related to Biden's stolen classified document investigation. Comer was stonewalled. The witnesses are now not cooperating with the House Oversight Committee. We just received a letter from the special counsel, says Comer, to the president, making it clear that the White House intends to continue obstructing our investigation. Of course. If President Biden has nothing to hide, then he should make his current and former staff available to testify before Congress about this mishandling of classified documents. And that's just one of the many, many things that they're trying to get to Biden about. He's corrupt, he's dirty, he's uncooperative, he's got the protection of the three-lettered agencies. The deep state has protected him and his family for years. I believe, my own personal opinion is that they are all in on taking foreign money, all the way down to the low-level FBI guys that look the other way or even obstructed justice because somebody else picked up on the fact that the Biden family are a bunch of criminals. Like, subscribe, and share, Devoted Patriots. That was an information overload as far as I'm concerned. A lot happened today. Supreme Court news, Biden news, Hunter news, contempt news, full House vote. Republicans unite for the first time, 221 together. Let's get her done, folks. Have a great day. Over and out.